Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So, in regard to the question of suffering and God and human beings, the way we understand the question and the way we respond to it is highly contingent to the way in which we understand ourselves. In other words, our identity. Who are we? In that respect, if we were to understand ourselves to be Muslims, then that creates a mindset, gives us a sense of objective, and through that, we then interpret the events of this life. For example, I am supposed to trust in God, pray to Him, follow the Sharia code very strictly. The suffering that come to me, I have to bear with them, and in return, God will give me a handsome reward in the hereafter. Now, I just want to emphasize on the issue of identity, that whatever we think we are will determine the way we behave and how we progress in the journey of life and what we strive to attain. If we can take a close look at what is identity and what makes us what we are and who we think we are, it will place us in a better position to understand ourselves and how we ought to be within ourselves, how we need to encounter the trials of life, and how we should fare in the journey of life, and what is the objective that is awaiting us, and what we should attain, what we should be striving to attain. So, for example, let's analyze this. Are our features markers of identity? Immediately we will see that no. Whilst we progressed in life, the features change. Similarly, through cosmetic modifications and surgeries, we can change our features. But if we were to look at it genetically, we will see that actually our features were given to us through the genetic code of our parents. It's not something that is substantively me. Let us go to gender. The fact that in a future world, people will be able to change gender shows that gender in essence does not grant identity. Culture, that is contingent to the place and the family of birth. Status, it comes and it goes. Sense of beauty and ugliness, these are societal constructs in a very big manner, and they are fleeting and constantly changing. Let us talk about religion. Does religion give identity? The fact of the matter is that majority of us do not choose the religion that we are abiding by. We have taken birth in the cradle of religion, and then we have convinced ourselves of its righteousness, and then we bring about elaborate arguments and demonstrations to prove that it is right. This is without wanting to offend anybody. A Shia would feel the same way, and the Sunni would feel the same way. Muslim, Christian, Jew, theist, and atheist. Everyone takes birth in a particular set of understanding, which is enforced within their minds, within their childhood years, and then they grow through it. And in addition to that, the fact that we can change our religions shows to us that religion, again, does not grant identity. So what is going on? Who are we? Let us give that analogy once again that we gave a few days ago. That if we were to enter into a flight simulator, we know immediately that there is a distance between us and the machine that we are occupying. We are not the machine. Here there is a distance, there is a distinction. We know that the door is to our side. We can open it and exit it at any point. Now imagine if we were to go inside that sophisticated machinery, and we were to be inside there for such a lengthy period of time, experiencing on the screen a reality that was simulated, and we suddenly forgot that we are inside a machine, and we felt that we were a part of it. then at that point, the distinction between who I am and what I am sitting in fades away. And therefore, whatever happens to that machinery will be felt as if it's happening to me, and my identity will become inextricably connected with that mechanism in which I, at this moment, abide or I occupy. Now, our story is similar to that. We awaken in a fetal state. We are not the fetus, but we awaken within the fetus. When we come into this world, we feel like moving our hand and the hand moves. We become so connected with the body in our minds that we feel we are the body. Now here is where the false identity comes, because we are not the body. We have merely awoken within the body. Now this body has its own properties. It is male or female. It has its own strengths and weaknesses, health and sickness, which we immediately feel are ours and they are a part of us. Similarly, the body has parents, and we feel that there's a relationship with them that is an essential relationship. The body has siblings. The body takes birth in the cradle of culture and religion and status. As the body grows, or the individual grows through the body, before they understand any better, they feel that they are that particular individual with all the familial relations that that individual has, with all the status in which the individual has taken birth, and the culture and the religion. This, therefore, is an illusion that is created within the mind. Imam Hussain Salamullah alayhi states to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one of his du'as that at this point now I am beginning to understand that every event of life was there for you to acquaint yourself to me, as if to say that the parents were a means to bring God closer to me so that I can understand that this parental love that is being showered upon me is a very arbitrary feature of my existence. The real thing that is happening here is that God is trying to awaken me to His own self. If we can understand this carefully, we will see that there is no such thing as identity in the way that we understand. We are momentarily in this setup. In essence, there are no brothers and sisters or parents. These are bodily properties. And this is not our identity at all. If we can take this a bit further, the Quran says, I have created you from one soul, and from it I made its partner, and from them I spread many men and women. What that means is that we are all in essence one beautiful awakening and self-awareness that is scattered in 7 billion different bodies or 8 billion different bodies. Each one of us have been fooled into thinking that I am this feature with this family, in this culture, of this ethnicity, of this religion. But none of us are any of those things. We are the beauty of God unending, who have come to experience God's touch and to complete our own godliness through the limitations in which we find ourselves. Now let us take this a little bit further. If this is the true understanding, then in that case, when sufferings befall us, instead of resisting them and fighting against them, as somebody has just commented today, we need to become fluid and embrace them and see the lesson that we need to learn from them through the mediation of the body and the bodily, and grow through them and absolve ourselves of the limitation of the body and the bodily aspects. It's much like that scenario of somebody sitting in the flight simulator. When the course is rough, they actually feel a sense of pleasure that they can land this plane safely on the runway despite the weather being stormy, turbulent, and despite there being pitch black darkness. If we can understand it that way, then challenges of life and suffering will actually be a welcome for a fluid being who sees themselves beyond the body, and they can grow through those beautiful experiences. The other thing we need to understand here is that it's the body that experiences time. We are timeless. If we can understand that and come into the absolute now and the absolute present and see ourselves beyond time and beyond space, then in that case, the journey of life becomes a very fruitful and a beneficial journey. And I will also say an enjoyable journey. So I'll end again with this, that we are nothing to do with the body. The other that I see as the other is one with me. Our sole task here is to unveil ourselves and come out of this illusionary world of the body, time and space, and then use the experiences that the body is going through in a very fruitful manner to grow through and to reach our utmost objective, which is the fullness of our own existence, which again we term as rejoining with the most beautiful, beloved God and originator of ours. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.